When you think of China, what comes to mind? Perhaps it's the Great Wall, high-speed rail, technological innovation, or its ancient history. But beneath the surface of one of the world's oldest civilizations lies a web of hidden realities, carefully controlled narratives, and deeply rooted systems of power that raise disturbing questions about the country's moral compass. This isn't about attacking a nation or its people, it's about uncovering truths often buried under censorship, state propaganda, and economic influence. Today, we delve into the dark side of China, the controversies, human rights abuses, and hidden systemic practices that many outside its borders still don't fully understand. 1. Mass surveillance and the death of privacy. China is home to the most expansive surveillance network in the world. With over 700 million surveillance cameras installed across cities, towns, and even rural villages, the average Chinese citizen is constantly monitored. Whether walking in a park, riding the subway, or entering a grocery store. Facial recognition technology is integrated with AI and big data to track not only criminals, but also ordinary people. It identifies who they are, where they go, who they associate with, and what they buy. The state collects this information under the guise of public safety. But the truth is more ominous: punishments for a low score, travel restrictions, internet slowdowns, job loss, or public shaming. 2. The Uyghur crisis, ethnic cleansing in the 21st century. Perhaps the darkest chapter in China's modern history is unfolding in its western Xinjiang region. Reports from human rights organizations and investigative journalists have confirmed the existence of vast detention camps, what Beijing calls vocational training centers, but which more closely resemble high-security prisons. It's estimated that over 1 million Uyghur Muslims have been detained without due process. Leaked documents and survivor testimonies reveal forced indoctrination, religious oppression, forced labor, mass sterilization of women, and psychological torture. Mosques have been destroyed. Quran possession is criminalized. Families are torn apart. 3. State-controlled censorship and media manipulation. Imagine living in a country where Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even Wikipedia are banned. Welcome to China's internet firewall, known as the Great Firewall, the most advanced digital censorship system on the planet. Every news outlet in China is state-controlled. Content that contradicts the Communist Party's narrative is swiftly removed. Journalists who report sensitive issues face imprisonment or disappearance. Citizens who speak out online risk surveillance, job loss, or worse. During the COVID-19 outbreak in Wuhan, the Chinese government delayed informing the public and the world. Doctors like Li Wenliang, who tried to raise the alarm early on, were silenced. He later died of the virus, and his death sparked rare public outcry, quickly suppressed of course. 4. The business of forced labor. China's economic miracle is built on the back of labor, often forced labor. From global brands to supply chains around the world, many products we use daily can be traced back to Chinese factories accused of labor violations. This isn't just poor working conditions, it includes child labor, grueling hours without pay, and in many documented cases, labor from prisoners and Uyghur detainees. Even after global outcry, major brands have struggled to sever ties with abusive suppliers. Why? Because China is not only the world's factory, it's also one of its biggest markets. Speaking out often means being shut out. 5. Religious persecution. While China officially guarantees freedom of religion, the reality is very different. Christianity, Islam, Falun Gong, and even Buddhism face intense scrutiny and control. Churches are raided. Bibles are confiscated. Crosses are burned or replaced with portraits of communist leaders. Religious leaders are arrested, detained, or simply vanish. The Vatican has been pressured to recognize bishops appointed by the Chinese state, eroding centuries-old church autonomy. Practitioners of Falun Gong, a spiritual discipline combining meditation and moral teachings, have faced especially brutal repression. 6. Environmental devastation. China is also one of the world's worst polluters. Rivers run black with industrial waste. Cities are often shrouded in toxic smog. The country's rapid industrialization came at a steep cost to the environment and to public health. Efforts are being made to go green, but even these come with controversy. Entire villages have been relocated for hydroelectric dams. Land has been seized for solar farms. Environmental activists are often silenced or arrested. The Three Gorges Dam, the largest hydroelectric dam in the world, displaced over 1.3 million people. Critics argue it has also contributed to ecological instability, including increased seismic activity and landslides. 7. The culture of fear and obedience. What's perhaps most chilling is not just what the government does, but how normalized it has become. Generations of citizens have grown up under one-party rule, state propaganda, and a strict education system that rewrites history and glorifies the Communist Party. Tiananmen Square?
Not taught in schools.
The Cultural Revolution's brutality?
Minimized.
Any deviation from the party's version of truth is treated as a threat to national stability. There is a profound culture of silence and self-censorship, born not only from fear of punishment but from years of ideological conditioning. 8. Exporting authoritarianism. China's influence doesn't stop at its borders. Through its Belt and Road Initiative, state-backed companies and media expansion, it is exporting not only infrastructure but authoritarian values. African, Asian, and even European countries are adopting Chinese-style surveillance systems. State-owned media like CGTN and Xinhua are broadcast globally, spreading Beijing's narrative. Confucius Institutes, which offer Chinese language and culture education, have faced accusations of spreading propaganda and suppressing academic freedom.
Conclusion: a country of contrasts.
China is not evil.
It's complex.
It's a country of 1.4 billion people, many of whom are hardworking, brilliant, and eager for a better life. But its government has created a system that, in many ways, embodies the very definition of authoritarian control, one that prioritizes power and obedience over truth and human dignity. Labeling China the most sinful country may be extreme, but ignoring its dark side is dangerous. As the global community becomes more interconnected, we must ask ourselves, what are we willing to tolerate in exchange for cheap goods, economic growth, or diplomatic convenience?